Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fellow channel. Hope everybody's well. It's a nice sunny day here at long last, beginning of September. Luckily the school kids and everyone will be going back after the summer holidays. But I hope you've all had a good summer holidays. This morning we're going to do a book haul video. I've had 2 books arrive yesterday in the post from Osprey, and then about an hour later I had another box delivery from Pen and Sword, so I've got about 7 books from them as well. So we'll go through this book haul right now. Right, the first book is The Harwich Striking Force, the Royal Navy's front line in the North Sea from 1914 to 1918. And that's by Steve R. Dunn, published by Seaforth Publishing and priced at £25. A nice weighty book, so this is going to be very detailed read. The heavy books are always the most detailed books. The Harwich Force has made its name and will not be forgotten during the future annals of history. So said its charismatic leader, Rear Admiral Sir Reginald Tewett, on Armistice Day 1918, but that fame was not to endure. Yet for the whole duration of the First World War, the Harwich Striking Force was the front line of the Royal Navy, a force of cruisers, destroyers, and operating in the hostile North Sea, keeping secure those waters for the Allies. This thoroughly engrossing book is the first to do full justice to the men and ships of the Harwich Force, which played such a key part in the final victory over Germany. And I've read a couple of Steve R. Dunn's books before, and they're always very detailed, very comprehensive, and a really good read. And I shall leave a link to all these books below in the description below this video, so please feel free, if you fancy any of the books, then you can click on the link and go purchase a copy. Right, moving to the Second World War now. Hitler's Armed SS, the Waffen SS in War 1939 to 45, written by Anthony Tucker Jones, who does a lot of writing on Second World War stuff, so this is going to be quite detailed and really interesting. Full history of the Waffen SS from the early 1930s to 45. Traces the development of the Waffen SS from its origin as Hitler's bodyguard to an armed force of 38 divisions. Portraits of leading Waffen SS commanders including Heinrich Himmler, Sepp Dietrich, Paul Hauser and Felix Steiner. Insight into the parts played by famous Waffen SS formations like Das Reich, Totenkopf and Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler in battles on the Eastern Front and Western Fronts, as well as describing the fighting record of the Waffen SS. It covers the numerous war crimes it committed. That's priced at £25 and published by Pen and Sword Books. Alright, we've got another World War II one here. The Allied air campaign against Hitler's U-boats. Victory in the Battle of the Atlantic, written by Timothy S. Good. Published by Pen and Sword Books, and it's £25. Some good pictures on the back. I'm really looking forward to this one because if you see the 2 planes on the back are both Sunderland planes, and they were used in detecting U-boats and trying to attack them. But they used to come from my county in Pembrokeshire, down in Pembroke Dock, and there's a museum there, so I'm quite looking forward to reading this book and seeing what happened and that. So just read you a small paragraph from the blurb. No weapon platform sank more U-boats in the Second World War than the Allied aircraft. Whether it was an American plane operating from American escort carriers, US aircraft from Royal Air Force bases, or British aircraft from bases throughout the world. These officers and men have become the most decisive factor in turning the tide of the Battle of the Atlantic against the German submarine threat. While the German crews could threaten escort vessels with torpedoes or avoid them by remaining submerged, their leaders never developed an effective strategy against aircraft. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm hoping there's like a lot of bits of local knowledge of Pembrokeshire in there, so really looking forward to that. Alright, next I want to change the scenery. This book is called Welsh Gold, or The Welsh Gold King. The Life of William Pritchard Morgan by Nerina Shopland. Published by Pen and Sword Books and priced at £25. The twist and tale of the life of William Pritchard Morgan, a solicitor, Liberal MP and pioneer of gold mining. Renowned author Nerina Shopland brings a forgotten figure back into the spotlight. This biography reveals the marks Morgan left on Welsh mining and political history, including competition with the Labour Party founder James Keir Hardie. A controversial character, readers will either love or hate Morgan as they learn who the Welsh Gold King really was. And it's quite a revered thing. Obviously, I live in Wales, but Welsh Gold is quite revered around here, so that should be a good read, I think. Now, the next one is a bit odd because I have a fascination with maps. Any kind of maps, whether it's to do with normal geographical maps or social maps, various maps about deaths and heats and that sort of thing I'm really into. But on this map, it's about the history of the London Underground map, written by Caroline Roop, published by Pen and Sword Books and priced at £20. And at long last, a nice decent red book, which will sit nicely on my bookshelves, because obviously most of my books are about war and serious subjects, so most of the books tend to be grey, so I have all these grey books and then the odd coloured ones sticking out, so I quite like it when I get a coloured book. Few transportation maps can boast the pedigree that the London's iconic tube map can. Sported on t-shirts, keyrings, duvet covers and most recently downloaded an astonishing 20 million times in app form. The map remains a long-standing icon of British design and ingenuity. Hailed by the art and design community as a cultural artefact, it has also inspired other culturally important pieces of artwork, and in 2006 was voted second to the BBC Two's Great British Design Test. But it almost didn't make it out of the notepad it was designed in. The story of how the underground map evolved is almost as troubled and fraught with complexities as the transport network it represents. Mapping the underground was not for the faint-hearted. It rapidly became a source of frustration and in some cases obsession, often driving its custodians to the point of distraction. The solution, when eventually found, would not only revolutionize the movement of people around the city, but change the way we visualise London forever. God, I'm not surprised. It was a hard job mapping all the underground. Some of the stations are just stunning. and hard to find because there's quite a few of them are disused or they're still actually there and as if you could open them up on a daily basis, but they're just kind of just left there. Right, quickly back to World War II again. Churchill's Arctic Convoys. Strength Triumphs Over Adversity by William Smith. Published by Pen and Sword Books and priced at £25. The threat of Operation Barbarossa, Hitler's surprise invasion of Russia in June 1941, succeeded in prompting Churchill to decide to send vital military supplies to Britain's new ally. The early sailings to northern Russia via the Arctic Ocean between 1941 and 1942 were largely unopposed, but this changed dramatically during the course of 1942, when German naval and air operations inflicted heavy losses on both merchantmen and their escorts. Problems were exacerbated by the need to divert Royal Navy warships to support the North African landings. Now this might be the first book I read out of the pile because I once watched a documentary on TV about Arctic convoys. I think it was PQ-17 one, and so much happened. And when you imagine the amount of attacks they were under from the German air crews, and just the freezing cold. I mean, if you can look at the picture of that lamp there, that gentleman's holding, it just must have been so cold. And you knew that kind of if you sank or had to go overboard, you weren't going to be survived because you weren't going to be picked up in the Arctic. Anyway, the next one. Now I bought what was it? The Audible book of Mary Beard's Rome SPQR book about a year ago, and I found it was a really interesting read. And we have here this book, Roman Legends Brought to Life, written by Robert Garland, published by Pen and Sword Books, and this is only £20. But again, look at the colour. That's going to look great on my bookshelves. I've got a red and a purple one now, so that'll make a change from the grey. Well, I've noticed there's some like childlike pictures on the back of the book and throughout the book, so I'm not sure if they impress me, but we'll see as I'm reading the book. The legends of early Rome are among the most memorable of any in the world. They are also highly instructive. They taught generations of Romans about duty and obedience. Duty and obedience might not seem to amount to much these days, but it was precisely these virtues that made Rome great. The legends are not, however, merely self-congratulatory, and they are rarely simple exercises in nationalist propaganda. On the contrary, many reveal their ancestors' dark sides, which they expose unflinchingly. As in the case of Greek mythology, there are no authorized version of any Roman legends. The legends survived because they reminded the Romans who they were, their modest beginnings that they came from, and how on many occasions their city nearly imploded, and that type of men and women shaped their story. So I'm going to look forward to that one. I like finding out about individuals in Rome. I apologise for my talking today. For some reason, some of the words seem a bit odd. The next two books I've got from Osprey Books, which turned up yesterday. So again, these two are two Second World War books. This first one is called The Forgotten Struggle on the Pacific War's Worst Battlefield, Bitter Pellew, written by Joseph Whelan and obviously published by Osprey. So that's that one. Priced at £25. There's some quotes on the back. Time had no meaning, life had no meaning. The fierce struggle made savages of us all. And that's from a private E.B. Sledge. It is easy to die, but difficult to live on, from a General Inouye. In this brilliant, compelling volume of the Forgotten Battle of Pellew, Joseph Whelan dissects the failings of American intelligence and strategy, analyses the shift in Japanese tactics, and brings to life the Marines' horrific experiences of the worst of the Pacific battlegrounds. Sounds good. Sounds interesting. I don't often get to read much Far East books, especially on the American side, so that looks good. And then the next one is a book I've been seeing trailed for a couple of months. This one's called The Meat Grinder. Let me just get right. The Battles for Ziev Salient, 42 to 43. Written by Pritz Butar, published by Osprey. And this is £30. Again, I will leave a link to all these books down below in the description. And I've probably butchered again the name of the battle, but I'm going with Ziev Salient. It's called The Meat Grinder. And from the back, written by acclaimed Eastern Front historian Pritz Butar, this is an engrossing history of the desperate battles for Ziev Salient, a forgotten story brought to life by the memoirs of German and Russian soldiers that recount the harrowing experiences of the fighting. And then we have a quote from another historian here. This vivid and gripping account is of fundamental significance for our understanding of the Eastern Front. In a story that thrills and fascinates in equal measure, taking us back into the furnace of battle at its most intense. And that's from Jeremy Black, author of Rethinking World War II. And it's a nice chunky book too, so it's going to be a good one, I think. And I've seen it being trailed in various magazines and publications for the past few months, so a lot of PR has been put into that one. Anyway, that's it for the book haul. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all well, and I hope you all stay well. Also, whilst we're at the end of the this video, I was thinking maybe of doing some sort of book club on various subjects. Maybe offering it like on Facebook or WhatsApp or some sort of messaging service, so that I would do it like a World War II book club, or a medieval history book club, or Tudor, or whatever people find more interesting or popular. So if you would be into that, I'm going to put my email address below in the description. And if you'd like to be part of any particular group, or you have an idea, then please feel free to email me your phone number, which I will obviously keep confidentially, and if nothing comes of it, then I will delete everything that I've been sent. So, but if you are interested in that, let me know, or drop me an email and let me know what you find interesting or what particular subjects would appeal to you. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time with another video probably tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you very soon. Take care.